Hey there! Today we are going to dive into some really powerful but gentle ideas from Japan. We're talking about habits that can totally transform how you think about your life, your work, and, well, everything. So, do you ever just find yourself stuck? You're staring at a list of things to do, but you just can't move? You are definitely not alone. It feels like we're all fighting these two villains, procrastination and laziness. But what if the answer isn't some huge life altering overhaul? What if it's something way smaller and way more powerful? You see, the first key to breaking out of that paralysis is a core Japanese philosophy, and it's all about embracing small, consistent actions instead of trying to make these giant, overwhelming leaps. And that idea is called Kaizen. Now, the heart of Kaizen is super simple. Just try to get 1% better every single day. That's it. It's not about being perfect right out of the gate. It's about making tiny, manageable improvements that just build on each other day after day. Okay, and this is where the magic really happens. That 1% a day, it doesn't just add up, it compounds. Over a single year, that tiny daily effort makes you a whopping 37 times better. That is the incredible, explosive power of taking small, consistent steps. But here's the thing. This whole process of improvement, it doesn't really start with what you do. It starts with what you think. Your mindset, your inner world, that's what shapes your entire reality and whether you see a world full of opportunities or just a bunch of problems. Our minds have habits, just like anything else. It can be a habit to see the negative in everything, which, let's be honest, makes for a pretty dull world. But you can change that habit. There's this great story about a samurai who, on his deathbed, wrote a poem that started, "To make a dull world interesting." The woman taking care of him finished it with the perfect line. "It's your heart that makes it so." And that just says it all, right? Your experience of the world comes directly from your mindset. And helping us shift that mindset is another beautiful concept, wabi-sabi. This whole philosophy is about learning to find beauty in things that are flawed or incomplete. It basically gives you permission to stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan, and just start now, with all your imperfections. This is such a powerful image. It comes from the art of kintsugi, where they repair broken pottery with gold lacquer. And what happens? The cracks become the most beautiful part of the piece. It's the same with us. Our own flaws, our own mistakes, they aren't things we need to hide. They're often the very source of our brilliance. And to really walk this path, you need Shoshin, which means beginner's mind. There's a saying, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few. Your mind is kind of like a parachute, right? It only works when it's open. Shoshin is all about staying open and curious, ready for all the possibilities life throws at you. Okay, so our minds are primed and ready to go. Now let's get down to brass tacks. How do we turn these big ideas into actual real-life daily actions? Let's look at a few super simple rituals you can start, like today. This first one comes from the Japanese tea ceremony, and it is so simple but so effective. Start your day by tidying up your space, so it feels fresh, almost like walking into a clean hotel room every morning. Then, at the end of the day, put everything back where it belongs. This one habit keeps your environment clear, which seriously cuts down on stress and actually makes you more productive. Want a quick way to just hit the reset button on your entire body and mind? Try this. After your normal hot shower, just switch to cold water for 30 seconds. I know, it sounds like absolute torture, but think of it as your own personal samurai training. The benefits are amazing. It boosts your energy, it's great for your skin, and it builds some serious mental toughness. The 30 seconds of hell from the cold water is over fast, but the heaven you feel afterward lasts for hours. All right, let's talk about energy, specifically from food. Haraha Chibu is this incredibly mindful practice of eating only until you're about 80% full. The whole point is to give your body what it needs to thrive without overloading it and causing that sleepy, sluggish feeling we all know too well. And this is a perfect way to visualize it. You're not aiming to feel stuffed, you're aiming for satisfaction. That last 20% of space in your stomach, that's the secret sauce. That's what prevents the dreaded afternoon brain fog and keeps you feeling light, sharp, and energized. So, we've got our mindset right, and we have some daily rituals. Now let's talk about building that unstoppable momentum, the kind that leads to long-term confidence, resilience, and a real sense of purpose. This is such a cool little psychological hack. Pick one tiny, almost silly habit that you know you can do 100% of the time. Like every time you take your shoes off, you align them perfectly. The act itself doesn't matter much, but by doing it every single time, you are proving to your brain that you are a person who follows through. These tiny daily wins create this incredibly solid foundation of self-confidence. Building confidence also means you can't be afraid to fail. The CEO of Uniqlo, the guy behind that huge brand, lives by what he calls the 1 in 10 rule. This totally reframes failure. It stops being this big, scary thing and just becomes a necessary part of the process. If you expect to fail 9 times to get that one success, you stop fearing it and just get on with it. And really, all of these habits, all of these ideas, they can help lead you to finding your ikigai, which basically means your reason for being. It's that sweet spot where your passions and your talents line up with what the world actually needs. It's your reason to get out of bed in the morning. This chart is a great way to map it out. Your ikigai is found at the intersection of 4 key areas: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for. When you find where all of those overlap, well, that's where you discover not just a job, but your passion, your mission, your true purpose. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that real, lasting change doesn't come from some huge, dramatic gesture. No, it's the quiet result of all these small, consistent, and intentional things you do every single day. I absolutely love this metaphor. Think about it. When you're stacking little stones, each one seems totally insignificant. You might not feel like you're making much progress at all. But if you just keep at it, day after day, you look back and realize you've built something incredible, something you could never have built all at once. And trust me, the view from the top is a whole lot different. And that really brings us to the most important question of all, the one that matters right now. It all starts with one small action. So, as you head out from here, just ask yourself this: what small stone will you lay today?